Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. We begin with weather tonight. We have good weather news to deliver tonight. A taste of summer is heading our way. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagu for more on what we can expect. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, when it comes to the weather, it's a nice one. I really can't wrap my head around it. We are still at 50 degrees. All of our showers have wound down across the inland northwest. And as things dry out, we're talking a major shift in the weather pattern. Seriously, let's just put it in motion. Nothing. A little bit of cloud cover tomorrow is about it. We're going to go ahead and call it partly cloudy skies. And then we're heading into a stretch where I get to try to come up with things to say the next few days in the world of weather, because nothing is going to happen. Maybe we'll look back on the winter or something, because it is all spring from here. I don't think we have to worry about any more snow in the forecast, not just because of how warm we get in the days to come, but because we're heading into May, and historically, we just don't really get snow in May. It's incredibly rare, and if it does happen, it would be within that first week span, and it's just not going to. 59 degrees tomorrow under partly cloudy skies, 67 on Wednesday, 71 on Thursday, and by the time we get into the weekend, it is likely our temperatures soar into the mid and upper 70s across much of the inland northwest.
Looking forward to that, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Well, tomorrow, Washington Governor Jay Inslee is set to sign 3 bills aimed at preventing gun violence. The first would ban the sale of and transfer of assault-style weapons, making Washington the 10th state to do so. The second requires safety training and a 10-day waiting period for anyone purchasing a gun. And the third strengthens accountability for gun manufacturers and retailers. Meantime, lawmakers did pass the state's operating budget last night. The $70 billion budget includes $2.2 billion for K-12 education, $1.1 billion for behavioral health, another $1 billion for public health and health care, over $500 million for housing and homelessness, and $250 million for community safety. In addition, the state transportation budget now headed to the governor's desk for his signature. The more than $13 billion budget would fund the construction of the North-South Freeway. The governor's first proposed budget took away funding for the project until 2027. If signed, the budget will fund more than $150 million to construction through the year 2025. Back to our top story tonight. North Idaho College Board of Trustees held yet another contentious meeting tonight as loss of accreditation looms over the college. This week, officials from the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities will visit the campus, interviewing students and staff as they make their report. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk was at the meeting tonight, where board members argued with each other and at times the community.
Tonight, board members discussed an open meeting violation which occurred last June, where a decision was made to hire Nick Swain as president. Due to that meeting violation, board member Todd Banducci said Swain's contract is null and void, and 2 other board members agreed with him, approving the motion. Banducci says in light of ongoing accreditation and litigation, Swain will continue to be president until the board decides otherwise or a new contract is put in place.
Every member of this board wants NIC to retain its accreditation, and that does include me. And I hope that we will all work with whoever the president is and however this plays out with all the things going on.
Keep in mind, a judge ordered that Swain must remain president as the college fights to keep its accreditation. Some have already accused the 3 board members of breaking the law tonight with that vote. A lot of people in the crowd, including students and staff, were visibly angry. They want the college to survive and Swain to be president, but feel 3 board members, including Chair Greg McKenzie, are doing everything they can to chip away at Swain's authority. Chair McKenzie tried to change policy tonight, where he would essentially have the final say in hiring anyone who Swain recommends.
If the motion that is passed is passed by the board, I can guarantee that we will lose accreditation. Simple as that. It's in my contract that I have this authority. It's in the judge's ruling that I have this authority, and the NWCCU requires that I have this authority.
The board did not approve that policy change. This week, officials from the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities will be on campus interviewing students and staff as they make their report and submit it this June. Weeks after that, a decision on the college's accreditation will be made. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
This afternoon, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward took a stand against the City Council's call for an independent investigation into Police Chief Craig Meidel. The chief is accused of giving special access and information to downtown business owners. The mayor is calling the claims redundant, while City Council says she needs to hear from the community.
I am deeply concerned about the council's insistence on keeping alive a topic that has already gone through an independent investigation by the Office of the Police Ombudsman, and that was closed many, many months ago.
The mayor wants to ignore the city code. A little ironic because she's the law and order mayor.
Well, the mayor made it clear today she will not direct staff to launch an investigation into the police chief. Another developing story tonight, a former Idaho State trooper accused of murdering his wife 2 years ago made his first court appearance this morning. 57-year-old Daniel Charles Howard turned himself in once he learned there was a warrant out for his arrest. On the night of February 2nd of 2021, Howard said his wife, 48-year-old Kendi Wilkins, had shot herself. Detectives say they found no evidence of suicide, but instead a homicide. Howard's attorney says he has cooperated with detectives since day one, and that attorney says if there was physical evidence linking Howard to the murder, he would have been arrested years ago. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. We are continuing to track a shooting that happened in West Central Spokane yesterday. The police report states that a man called 911 stating that someone shot at him but that he wasn't hit. He said he was trapped for several hours in the same house as the suspect. Also in the house was an immobile disabled child who had to be removed by police officers. KREM 2 spoke with the owner of the home where all of this took place.
I was letting some people use my backyard to work on their vehicle, and I got an ugly text from him this morning, and I replied in kind, basically get your stuff out of my yard or I'm going to have it towed. And I walk in the bathroom, the next thing I know, he's at the bottom of the stairs screaming at me to come downstairs, and I scream back to wait till I'm done to use the bathroom, and back and forth a few times. The next thing you know, there's a gunshot goes off.
Law enforcement says they received conflicting information about whether the suspect was still in the home or had fled. Tonight, the suspect still has not been found. SPD is asking anyone with information about the incident to please call Crime Check. Spokane area leaders are trying to put together a more regional collaborative approach to homelessness with a 90-day due diligence plan. Today marked the group's 30-day check-in. The plan includes things like collecting data and evaluating how current leaders will continue to support the plan after 90 days. Mayor Nadine Woodward says conversations are still in the early stages, but that she's hopeful.
We all understand that there is a need for an organization, a model like this, for us to address homelessness in a much effective and impactful way, to do a better job of collaborating with our resources, funding, and service providers. So we're all in agreement on that, and that it should be done regionally.
Mayor Woodward says Spokane Unite wants to hear from everyone in the community, so if you'd like to get connected, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. Well, today was the first court appearance for the man accused of killing a Seattle woman after a Mariners game. In court, Brett Gitchell pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder of Leticia Martinez. He's accused of killing Martinez, whose body was found in Renton more than 2 weeks after she and Gitchell were seen together at a Mariners game. The medical examiner determined that Martinez was strangled to death. Gitchell is being held in jail on a $5 million bond. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000, and we'll send them right to your phone.
Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways.
A major shakeup in the cable media landscape. That was Harris Faulkner announcing on air this morning. The network is parting ways with its top-rated host Tucker Carlson, and within the same hour, CNN firing its longtime host Don Lemon after 17 years at the network. The LA Times reported Fox Corporation CEO Rupert Murdoch personally made the call to oust Carlson. Carlson has yet to comment. Meantime, Lemon appeared to have been blindsided. He was let go just hours after his show. He tweeted the news himself, saying he was, quote, stunned. And a shocking sight out of Wisconsin where a freight train hit a FedEx truck this morning. You can see a new drone video. There is not much left of that truck. Despite all the damage to the truck, the driver suffered only minor injuries. No one on the train was hurt. In international news tonight, the White House reached an agreement today to get trapped Americans out of Sudan. The State Department announcing a 72-hour ceasefire beginning at midnight. And if it holds, it will be a window of opportunity to begin evacuations.
We have deployed U.S. intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance assets to support land evacuation routes, which Americans are using.
Violence continues to escalate in Sudan as rival generals battle for power. Right now, the State Department says the majority of Americans left in the country are dual citizens who have not asked to leave.